Now we're backing business across Virgin Media Television, supporting Irish in the run-up to Christmas.
Take the Cake offers custom creations on corporate orders as well as stocking their wares across Dublin. Check out takethecake.ie for more.
And Krissy Gibson from Take the Cake is back with us this morning, and there's a festive sweet treat coming up. Good morning.
Morning,
to
Krissy.
you.
Bright and early.
Now, we are used to you creating the most divine pieces, but usually you're baking, and today you're not.
Yeah, we're not. We're not even going to cook, really. We're just melting stuff.
Great. Good.
Sounds like fun.
No problem. This can be tricky though, because we're adding an extract to our chocolate, which can seize up your chocolate. Oh. So once you add the extract, we're gonna work fast from then on.
So what is it we're making?
This is so easy. It's called peppermint bark. Now, where I grew up in North America, you would find these at Christmas, much like we find selection boxes here.
Ah, right. Okay.
So you might give someone a tin of peppermint bark, and then I figured out how easy it was to make it, and so I just make my own now. This is the first time, however, that I've ever made it with green and red candy canes. I couldn't find any white and red.
Well, it looks beautiful, actually.
Well, thanks.
And you have a gorgeous gift box here. My sister-in-law is fantastic at baking as well, and a lot of the times at Christmas she'll turn up with a beautiful gift box with some homemade cookies.
That's exactly what that's there for. It's an easy thing to wrap up and give to somebody. And plus, kids love making this. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know? So we're taking 400 grams of dark chocolate. I do recommend dark over milk chocolate because we're also using white chocolate, which I find quite sweet. Mm-hmm. And if you have milk chocolate and white chocolate, it's just a bit too sweet.
So you're looking for balance there.
Oh, yeah.
We're using 400 grams of dark chocolate and 400 grams of white chocolate. I have found that white buttons work quite well. There's a type of white chocolate that I use occasionally at the bakery that does not melt well. Yeah. So for anyone who wants to go out and try this, I would suggest just grabbing some buttons because those work well.
Okay.
So you could also just buy 400 grams of chocolate bars and break them up. So we're going to melt those. The best way to melt your chocolate is over a double boiler on the hob like this. You can also just do it in the microwave. Take it out every 30 seconds or so to give it a stir. Exactly. Yeah. But you're not mixing anything with it.
So putting it directly on the heat, you only get it for a certain amount of time, very small amount of time, don't you, before it starts congealing?
Yeah, you don't want to do that because your chocolate will seize, like you just said, and then you can't work with it. Yeah. And actually, that's what happens when you add your extract, so that's why you have to work quickly. So I've melted my dark chocolate here on the hob, and I'm going to add peppermint extract now, which I find tricky to find here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've never looked for it. So did you find it in the end in a supermarket?
I know I have a spot where I always know I can get it. But if you can't find it, you can use peppermint schnapps. You can use creme de menthe in a pinch.
Oh,
okay?
Very good. Okay.
Use the peppermint flavor that you like. Okay? There's really no right or wrong way. Although I will say, I wouldn't use spearmint over peppermint. I would stick with peppermint. Okay. Because we're going for candy cane. Yeah. Okay. Another thing I'll say about this is that it's the type of thing you want to prepare, having everything ready and set aside ahead of time. For example, our candy canes. You want to break these up before you ever get started. Okay. I just use a rolling pin and a plastic bag. I break up my candy canes. I've got them ready. I set them aside.
And I presume you have to be light-handed with the peppermints because I imagine you can kill it, can you?
You can. You end up having something tasting like toothpaste.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Which is no good, no. So I, however, have found this particular peppermint extract that I found not strong at all. Okay. So I would suggest using only a half a teaspoon of this, which is maybe 3 mils.
For the full bar that you're going to make?
To add to the dark chocolate. Okay. Because I know that this isn't a very strong one, I'm going to add a little more, like maybe 5 mils. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to work quickly now that I'm adding the extract. We've got our melted chocolate. I'm adding 5 mils of peppermint extract, and I combine it. I'm going to give it a good stir and try to get it smooth again. You will find, though, that as soon as I've added that, the texture of the chocolate starts to change.
It's going to fight you, isn't it?
It starts to fight you. It just kind of firms up a bit. It starts to set.
And Krissy, is there any particular reason why you put it into the dark chocolate and not the white chocolate?
Well, you can do both.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have made peppermint bark before with no dark chocolate. Okay. I happen to be a big fan of white chocolate, and I have in the past used only white chocolate with my peppermint extract in there. with just a bit of red food coloring, so it's a little bit pink.
Oh, lovely.
And that looks nice. And like I said, this is the first time I've ever used green and red candy canes. I usually only use red and white.
I couldn't find
any.
texture of that, Krissy, like you said.
It's
very
completely
quickly.
changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So once you add the peppermint, you have to work quickly. Now, you put this on just a baking tray with a piece of grease-proof paper, whatever you have. I like to use a flat edge to sort of smooth it out because we're going to be putting our white chocolate on top, okay?
So you need a decent base.
Yeah, you want it to look nice and neat because we're going to be breaking this up later. This one here, I made it too thick, and I didn't do this step.
Okay.
So you want to just get it nice and smooth. Now, this we set aside. We let it chill for 20 minutes at least in the fridge. If you're in a hurry, you can do this in the freezer, as long as your tray fits in the freezer. Okay? So now we're going to go on to the next step. I've got one here that's chilled already. How are we on time?
We're just over a minute.
Oh, okay. So
it's the white chocolate to go on next, though.
I'm going to add my white chocolate on top of my dark chocolate. Now, because I know that my peppermint extract isn't very strong, I'm going to add a little bit to this one.
But if you did feel it was strong, just keep it with the dark chocolate.
Yeah. Actually, I think traditionally it's only the dark chocolate that has the extract in it.
Okay.
So we got a minute left, Krissy.
Okay, so I'm just going to put this on the top.
Would the same thing happen to the chocolate that did?
It depends on what kind of white chocolate you use.
Okay.
Buttons work very well, and they're not going to fight you.
A lot of pastry chefs don't enjoy working with white chocolate. It's a difficult chocolate to use.
It can be.
For whatever reason.
I don't know why either, but I'm telling you, buttons are the way to go.
Yeah.
I've tried it all. And plus, that white chocolate bar there, I got that at my local discount shop. And that works well, too, if you just break that up. So this is it, guys. This is going back into the fridge for another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And when I'm done putting the candy cane on top, I like to press it down a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys
it.
a taste. That's it. We're done.
And then you snap it, but sort of a regular shape.
You can
Make it interesting.
you can either use your hands, just like this, or you can use a knife, okay? I brought a knife. I don't think I'll bother cutting any of that with the knife because we're short on time, but...
Well, we'll have a little taste.
That's
Thank you very much, Krissy.
Yeah, let me know what you think of that.
Fantastic,
will do.
Krissy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Krissy.
I'm definitely going to try this at home.
Good.
I've never had peppermint bark in my life.
Why don't you take this home to the boys, Laura?
Oh, you're very kind. I'll bring it into the gallery.
Thank you, Krissy. Great recipe. For full recipe details are up on our website or check out takethecake.ie for more of Krissy's wares.